don't feel the same. Just don't feel the same.
Hello, folks, and welcome to episode 15 of Coming Up Comic and Film. After our little hiatus, we are back, and we're back in a big way with a very special guest, my new friend, Alex Perez.
Hey, howdy.
Hey, Alex.
Hey, how's it going?
Great. So, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm very chipper. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling great.
Awesome.
It's another fine day. It's a Monday.
Oh, God.
It's by far the coolest Monday so far I've had.
Nice. I'm flattered.
Very happy. Thanks so much for having me.
Of course.
I'm excited. This very cozy spot here.
Thank you.
So I'm probably not going to leave. I'm just making my nest now.
He's moving in. Cheers.
Cheers.
Welcome to Coming Up Comic and Film. So, you've been to the studio before. Mm-hmm. We met in a very cool way. We first, through Ruse, we became friends on the gram.
Yeah, through Ruse Radio.
Yes, shout out to Ruse. Wyatt, killing it on Ruse Radio.
Yeah. We met through there.
Yeah.
And I think I'd actually caught a clip of your interview on there. And I was like, oh, she seems really cool. And she's doing a lot of local Chicago comedy stuff.
Yeah.
And then I think Jerry was about to go on a show, and he must have been like, you got to talk to this Alex dickhead Alex guy. So then we chatted, and then now we're making this happen. Now it's happened just in time for spooky season.
I know, spooky season, my favorite season.
It's the best.
I've already got some sweet pumpkin spice candles at home. Mm-hmm. I've got a jack-o'-lantern that glows at night. I got my spooky stuff ready. And I'm so happy to have someone like you who is an indie filmmaker. You have experience in improv, stand-up comedy, filmmaking. You've made, you said like 60-some films with one person and then like over 10.
That's a lot, yeah.
Yourself.
30 stuff of my own.
Wow.
And then my buddy Nathan, I met him in college. He had a company called Rust Belt Productions.
Okay.
So he was already doing a bunch of shorts, and then together we must have done like 65 short sketches, comedies, and then it's just like, he was much better at making sure that they were all in one place. I was insane. All the stuff I made just ended up all over the place. There's like multiple YouTube channels, and some of the stuff's buried, some of the stuff's sitting on hard drives, but now I'm finally like figuring out how to actually have it all in one place.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, it's a lot.
It is. You're doing a lot of cool things, though.
Oh yeah, thanks. A lot of interesting stuff going on lately.
Yeah.
We just are in the midst of wrapping up a movie. We do a short horror trailer every year, an annual horror trailer. It's called Gobblehead. It's a Thanksgiving themed slasher movie, and it was conceived by me and my buddy Steve-O Nystrom, who is an awesome guy. Local musician, hell of a singer.
Nice.
And then also hell of an actor and screamer. So he's great. And we had been working on shorts together for a little while. as well, and I actually knew him in high school. So he's
Really?
another buddy from high school. He was actually an improv teacher.
Really?
Yeah. Me and Tim took his after school improv class.
Wow.
And we were just sitting around, and we had just finished doing a short, and it was like Steve reached out and he was like, I want to do a movie, and it's going to be called The Bowel Movement. And I was just like, all right, sold. I don't even care what it's about. That title's great. And it was just like a fun short, almost John Waters style horror comedy with a lot of gross out humor. It was also just an excuse to get together and make something again. Mm-hmm. I feel like most things are just an excuse to get together and shoot something funny.
Yeah.
We made that together, and then we caught the bug, and this was right before the lockdown started, and we're just sitting around, and he's like, let's do a horror movie. And I'm like, all right, what kind? And he's like, let's do a slasher movie, because those are fun. Everybody loves watching them, for the most part, and then everybody likes working on them, because they're just silly fun. I love, like, trailers specifically, like old school grindhouse exploitation style trailers. They're loaded with extreme imagery, and they're usually pretty funky. Anything usually older from that time period I like anyway. And
Same.
Yeah, I got all really cool stuff you got in here. I love it. That was something that like I really wanted to. I always want to do like a fake trailer. Just will the movie ever get made? Who knows? But it's you could pack a lot into a trailer anyway.
Yeah.
And we were trying to come up with like, well, what slasher movies aren't getting made? What's the gimmick? And then Thanksgiving rolled around, and that was like that would be a cool idea. And there had previously been a fake trailer for a Thanksgiving horror film, and it was there was a grindhouse exploitation like revival that was going on, and this was like in 2007. Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez did the Grindhouse double feature movie, and they'd packed it with fake trailers directed by all their buddy filmmakers, and one of them was Eli Roth, and he did Thanksgiving. Well, that's 2007, and we always thought the trailer was great, and the movie never got made, and that was one of the concerns when we were originally coming up with the idea. Like, oh, that movie never got made. Maybe we'll just make a Thanksgiving horror movie, and we'll just do another fake trailer, and we'll see where it goes.
Yeah.
And then we did the first one, and we had a blast. And then by the time we're getting ready to shoot the second one, he's like, Thanksgiving's coming out. I was like, oh, he made the film. Fucking great. So in true exploitation fashion, we still went ahead and decided to make the movies. And maybe we're like, oh, we'll just ride the coattails of Eli Roth's movie. They're totally different films.
Yeah.
But that's how it kind of came about. Like most of these projects, it's just people sitting around, just fucking around with ideas.
Yeah.
And then we just decide to roll with whatever makes us laugh the most. And Gobblehead was one of those movies.
I love that. And I love the idea of bringing the horror genre to Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
What a great time to bring it.
Exactly. It's like the least, well, it's like Christmas horror movies. It's like, why would anyone want to do that?
Right.
They're so precious, those holiday memories. And we just figured, let's just fuck all that up and just make it really, really awful. So we just wanted to do one about a toxic family. And the guy shows up and just feeds the family members to each other.
Oh, my God.
And we're like, that's gross. Like, what's the one thing you don't want to watch on Thanksgiving when everyone's eating? A movie filled with cannibalism, clearly. So that's, like, the gimmick.
I love it.
And it was fun. It was, like, it was one of those, like, situations where the idea was written pre-pandemic. Pandemic happened. And then during the pandemic, a lot of people were going through reevaluation of life choices, situations. People were finding different grooves. I'd been making short films for a long time, jumping from job to job, and I figured I would just take a crack at just working. Everybody else went and stayed home, and at that point, I'd already had a lot of practice staying at home. I was like, I was a little sad boy for a little while.
Aw.
And by the time everyone was like, we're staying home and watching Tiger King because things are fucked up out there. I just decided to grind and do just work. So I worked as what were they called? an indispensable worker. I was one of those guys.
Okay.
Really, it was just retail. It was like a Walmart distribution center.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll just grind out here. And then my buddies, who I would later form Kinocrew with, Josh Weitzel and Nathan Olker, my buddies, my bros,
Shout out.
my Kino brothers. We'd known each other since college. We made a bunch of shorts. And they were like, we got to film a thing. And they were just basically like pushing me. And we were pushing each other. And we decided to just, in 2020, to start production on like a short film. So we dug up an old script, and it was like a dark comedy psychodrama. You know, it had like Polanski, Hitchcock vibes, and it was you know, and it's called Cottonmouth. That was our first Kinocrew production short, and it's right before we formed the company, but it was like our first like short film we put together under the company banner, and it was like I wanted to do something that felt a little Amityville and felt a little, you know, like I said, Polanski-ish.
Yeah.
And and we played it 100% straight. I guess that was the goal, was to do something really stupid and played straight. So it's a movie about a couple.
I love that.
Oh, they kind of like, you know, let's
Playing
just
it.
see if you
Yeah.
can play it straight and nobody cracks on set.
Yeah.
The premise was essentially like a couple, and they're expecting, and the husband's uncle moves into the house because he needs a place to stay. And then it becomes kind of very Hitchcock, and like, you know, the weird uncle moves in. There's something off about him. Although right away we know something is off about him because he has a sock puppet. And it's kind of, you know, sock puppet has kind of its own personality. It's hitting it off with the husband, and it starts to drive a wedge between the wife and the husband. And it's super weird. I was like, this is the one we're going to do. And it actually turned out to be pretty good. And it was one of those situations where it's like, who do we got available? And who's talented? Well, luckily, I'm very fortunate. My sisters are very talented.
So cool.
My sister, Nicole, who was legitimately pregnant at the time with her first child, Rosie, she's like, I'll be in the movie. And then who's going to play the husband? Her husband, Kyle.
Perfect.
Kyle Slagle. He went ahead and filled in as the really terrible husband, which is hilarious because, you know, great husband in real life.
Yeah.
But and then the uncle was my actual uncle.
Really? Mm-hmm. Brought the whole
Albertico.
family. Cool.
Yeah, he's got to play the strange uncle with the sock puppet, and then my buddy Steve did the voice. So we shot that, and went to a few festivals. I went to the Chicago Horror Film Fest and snagged some awards. So that was pretty
Congrats.
cool. Thank you. It was like the sock movie was like, oh wow, that won an award or two. That's kind of funny. And then between that, there was some downtime, and then Gobblehead came about because we were doing the voiceover sessions for the sock puppet, and Steve-O was doing the voice, and Steve was like, whatever happened to the Gobblehead movie? And it's like, I still have the notes. And we decided to, in retrospect, it was ill-advised because we crammed it. I think we shot like a week before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And the idea was to drop it on Thanksgiving. So it became like a rush job.
Wow, those are the best.
Some fun, old-fashioned...
See what you're made of.
Exactly. Some nice, anxiety-ridden filmmaking. Which was like, I guess, kind of a Roger Corman approach, where it's like we had no money, no time. Which was awesome. And we got the movie shot, got it casted, shot it in about like 2 days.
Wow.
And it was just a short, fun trailer. And people loved it. My brother scored it. He did the music. It was very synthy, very 80s. It wears its inspirations on its sleeve. And we liked it so much that we wanted to turn it into an annual thing. So every year we do another Gobblehead. Wow. Like another, hey, let's get the gang together and just shoot a fun short horror movie trailer. Now we're like on year 4.
Wow, how exciting.
It's fun. It's like a fun guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
And it's just an excuse to get together with your friends and make something.
And cover them in blood.
Oh yeah, any excuse, any chance.
You are born and raised Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct?
Yep.
And tell me about your family. I know you come from a very artistic family.
My sisters, Jackie and Nicole, they're my older sisters. They're twins. They're both actors, and My sister Nicole is a working voice actor, and when I was younger, we were all in plays. We would do theater all the time. They did a lot of theater, and Jackie went to school for theater, and that's kind of like the headspace everyone was living in. We were all raised to do a lot of reading, writing, and drawing. There was art everywhere all the time.
Neat.
My parents were awesome. I lucked out. My mom was very sweet, very nurturing, very, very funny. She's still very funny. And my dad's hilarious too, big time reader. So I was just surrounded by stuff. I was reading Stephen King books like in 4th, 5th grade.
Wow.
And my teacher's like, what are you reading this? And it's like back then it was like the Stephen King like Dark Tower books. I don't know if you're familiar.
Yes.
That's kind of like his Lord of the Rings. Those books are like thick, big ass books. And it's like we're like learning basic elementary school shit, and I'm just reading all this horrible Stephen King stuff. And my dad got me really deep into writing, and my mom, also pushed a lot of the reading and artistic stuff. My sisters, I could distinctly remember, I think when I caught the bug for filmmaking, my sisters were doing like a school project for high school, and their goal was I don't know what the specific assignment was, but it was like they had to shoot a soap opera. Or
Funny.
they decided to turn it into a soap opera. So they're running around with like the family camcorder, and they're doing all the sound effects themselves. And I was like, this is like the coolest. This is like the coolest thing ever. Now my sisters are cool. No.
Wow. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool that you mentioned that. Videos like that are so precious, like to be able to go back to and look at now.
Yeah.
But I do think it also gives you, like, even as an adult, doing creative things. My nieces and nephews, I don't have kids, but like they're impressed by that. They're like, oh, you're doing a comedy show? Like, you made a short film? You have a podcast? They're kind of mesmerized by it. But that's interesting that it kind of gave your sisters like more clout to you. It was like, all right, they're doing cool stuff.
Yeah, it was very inspiring.
Yeah.
It was like they did all the. I just love that they were doing all the effects and stuff themselves. They were doing like the music was just them, like
do.
They were just literally doing that, and I was like, that's so cool. And then my brother, we're not twins, but we would always get mistaken for twins because we just look so similar. We sound so similar. But we do everything with each other, and we were making movies after that. Like, we got a camcorder and started filming stuff. And in high school, of course, we both took improv class with Steve-O. And then Tim got bit by the improv comedy bug. So he just went on and did like a bunch of comedy stuff. Like he's like a freak of nature. So he did like really awesome improv courses. He was in an After School Matters course with a really talented group of kids. And they went to a competition, and I just remember thinking like they blew him out of the water. Like, it was just like unreal. Because at that point, because he had been so involved in it, we had been to all these other improv shows where like adults were performing. Those were very funny. But these kids it was like super talented.
Yeah.
And my brother was like, I got to keep doing this. So he just kept going. He started taking classes at One Group Mind. He performed a lot at the Comedy Clubhouse. And then he started doing booking shows of his own around the city.
Wow.
And then he would do stand up. And his stand-up is pretty nuts.
Yeah.
So like he's like he's a provocative guy.
Provocateur.
Provocateur. So he does a lot of really funny stuff, very intense. He can be very thoughtful, but he also loves to hit people with the hard stuff, the sledgehammer.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like his thing. And he does a lot of music too. He's like a talented musician, so he does like a lot of rap and R&B. Wow. And he's like making his own beats. So he's working no matter what. He's always doing that. It's always like, what is he working on? It's some sort of piece of music. It's some bit he's working on. So, I mean, and naturally it's like, okay, so we throw him in front of the camera every chance we get. And, just very fortunate. So I had a great family, and they're all crazy artists. And then I ended up doing film school, because then I became just obsessed with movies when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I just was just all about it. Behind the scenes features, DVD commentaries. I would go frame by frame on DVDs and just look at them, just break them down. And then I just would just sponge up everything I could and became obsessed with it. And then I was just like, let me go to Columbia. So I went to Columbia. I did 4 years there, and then that was a lot of I made a lot of that was my time to be ultra provocative, because I just made a bunch of shit that was like just to get rises out of people and touch some taboo subjects. So we covered everything from we confronted stuff like transphobia and like abortion subjects, murder, cannibalism, rape. Everything that was I had no business touching, I ended up just making something of it. A lot of that stuff is online. A lot of the stuff is buried. I don't think a lot of people were giant fans of a lot of it based purely off the subject matters. I'd always get points for how we would get how it would look. But then everyone would just be like, did you have to make it about that? Like my parents would be like, why are you like this? You seem so normal. And then, they watch something insane I made in college.
Interesting. It was all that Stephen King.
That's all that's that young exposure to Stephen King. Reading Carrie too young, I guess.
So you said your dad would encourage you to do a lot of writing. How did he do that? What did he... Because that's tough to do with a kid. What would he say to you?
Yeah. He would just say, write every day. He still says this. He's like, write every day. It's like working out a muscle. And I'm like, that's cool, Dad. Why couldn't you just tell me to work out every day? But they were very encouraging. Like we drew a lot. I drew a lot I still draw a lot now. But we do comics. Like I'm a huge comic guy.
Wow.
Not as much superheroes, more so just the really weird shit. Like I like Tales from the Crypt and like older eerie comics where the art's really extreme. Yeah. And then I like crime comics. Like I love the work of like Brian Azzarello, Ed Brubaker, Sean Phillips. I love all that stuff. Garth Ennis, I was a big Punisher Max fan.
I'm not familiar with that.
It's all
I gotta
like
check it out.
Ultra violent, dark stuff. Dealt with like heavier themes. But I'm reading stuff like 100 Bullets and Punisher Max, and I'm like in elementary school still.
Obviously, you were into that darker horror genre, making just darker things. But you said you had a stint where you were doing improv and comedy.
Yeah, I did some improv in high school. I did some classes in some of the after school matters. I did a little bit of stand-up in college as well. I tried my hand at that. That's always fun to do. But also, I guess I would get a little bit of stage fright. I always have nothing but admiration for anyone that can get on a stage and like bare their guts. The funny thing now is that I feel much more confident now. Yeah. That I feel like I would love to do some stand-up. But now there's just all this other stuff going on. Yeah. So it's like maybe one day I can get back up there. But I did a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff when my brother's still in improv, but there was a period of time prior to the pandemic, maybe a good 5 years, where him, my brother-in-law, my sisters, they were just in it hardcore. They were always doing it. So I was like the behind-the-scenes guy. I was like, I'll just record all the shows. Yeah. I recorded every show, every group they ended up forming. I would film their shows for them.
Cool.
And it'd be like me and my buddy Nathan, who I formed Kinocrew with. We would just be filming comedy shows all the time. And he did a lot of comedy as well. He was in a lot of improv groups. Yeah. So it's like that was kind of like my connection to everything as well. So I didn't do a whole lot of on-stage stuff with them, but I was like always there. So I was just surrounded by comedians for what felt like forever. Yeah. And they're still around. I'm sitting with one right now.
Yeah. Yep. We're still doing it.
And we just, everyone just wants to crack each other up.
Yeah.
So it's, that's basically it. Maybe one day I'll get my Netflix special, working on it.
Hey, you know what? You're still very young. And I didn't start doing comedy till I was 40. So, and here I am 5 years later. It'll come when it's meant to come, but right now you're doing very important things in the film world, and it's so cool that you have such a diverse repertoire. Like you're making comics, you're doing special effects, you're doing behind the scenes, you're writing, you're producing. Is there anything you don't do when it comes to film, or anything that you really try to stay hands off of?
Yeah. I mean, I think I want to, like, starting out, you want to try everything. But then you start to learn what you're better at and what you can trust other people with.
Yeah.
You know, I did a lot of editing when I was younger. I did a lot of video gigs. I chased a lot of music video money for a while.
Yeah.
And I realized that I love editing, but also I'm not the greatest editor. And I trust my closest friends with issues like that.
Yeah.
Like how to, unscrew a specific sound problem.
Yes.
Sound, definitely, I'm not crazy about. Like, it's not something I know a lot about. It's very complicated.
Yeah.
I trust the professionals with that. Mm-hmm. Nathan is very good with sound. He's usually running sound on the short films.
Cool.
There's some very talented sound people out there that are like, they turn into a science. There's a guy named Emerson Cole, and he was here for a shoot. He was here for the hamster in my head shoot.
Yes, I met Emerson.
Very talented. And then, like, I feel like anything you need to know about sound, you could ask him. And it's like, that's very admirable. Just
Good to
taking on, because that sounds like also its own mini anxiety, panic attack.
Yeah.
Is just being the sound guy. I did a lot of cinematography in college.
Cool.
I've taken somewhat of a step back, and I think it's less that I'm like not confident in it, and it's more so that like it would just be an additional thing.
Yeah.
At least being relatively well versed in what's needed is good.
Yeah.
And surrounding yourself with people that you can rely on that aren't just yes men is also important. So I'm constantly like, I have people around me that I trust and that challenge me. So I'm constantly like, we butt heads in like the most healthy way possible. Mm-hmm. It's all constructive.
And you're open to that, like,
yeah.
Because I know some directors or producers aren't into feedback where some are, but you welcome it and compromise. And if there's something you don't want to do, you're brave enough just to say no, I'm sure. But
yeah, like knowing when to put your foot down, kind of. But yeah, it's like I'm not like a hardcore dictator on set.
Yeah.
Sometimes it works for guys. Like, I'm just so much more laid back. I know what I want, but also there's stuff I might not know that I want, that people they might have some great ideas.
Sure.
Or maybe I'm missing something and someone else is noticing something and it's well worth hearing. Mm-hmm. I felt like my tenure at art school allowed me to grow thicker skin. And then just like, I feel like over the years I've just grown thicker skin.
Yeah.
Just because I'm just surrounded by all these artists. And everybody's always got something to say. There's always a critique. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, I'm always open to some sort of suggestion.
But you've been flexing your creative muscles all these years, and it's definitely helped improve your confidence. You know that you can produce these different things, and you're just putting yourself out there more and more. And it started in college. So going back to Columbia, you did some edgy things in college. So walk me through once you got out of college and how you've gotten to where you're at now and leading into Kinocrew.
So after doing just a billion shorts, so I did a bunch of stuff in college. I left on everything I could, and then sometimes I would just get frustrated and just shoot my own stuff because the hardest part about this entire thing is just scheduling anything.
Yeah, getting
anybody on board for anything is next to impossible. Unless you're paying them. But even when you pay them, you got to hope that they show up.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a whole lot of trial and error, but we shot a bunch of shorts. After college, a lot of what we did was, like I said, Nathan had a company called Rust Belt, and we did a bunch of shorts for Rust Belt, and those were all like comedy sketches. We did a ton of them. I'm not sure how many are on that page, but eventually we shifted over to another channel. It was called Burnout Boutique, and that was all name. Yeah, Burnout Boutique. It was like we did hair. No, it was that was very much like Tim and Nathan in front of the camera a lot, and that was another thing where it was like we were doing edgier comedy, a lot of satire, a lot of on the street stuff. We would go down to like live events and just interview people.
Yeah.
And I think that was beginning to build up steam, as I think people were doing more so by themselves as opposed to something like Jackass.
Yeah.
So like we would go to like protests, we would go to parades, like the St. Patty's Day parade, or there were some Trump protests we framed a sketch around.
Yeah.
And then everything else would be like, you know, we would do just insane shorts, and we would just do stuff that cracked us up. And then they would put on these live performances. Nathan and Tim would perform in front of audiences at different venues. And those are always like fever dreams, because my brother's a huge fan of satire and guys like Charlie Kaufman and like Tom Green. We love Tom Green. We worship at the altar of Tom Green, where we just fuck with everybody.
Yeah.
And we did that for a long time. We learned a lot doing all that. And I think because like me and Nathan together made like 60 or so videos. It was some obscene number. And then, you know, we'd always talked about like forming like a bigger company and taking on like the larger short films and feature films and stuff like that. And, you know, a lot of our stuff would screen at festivals. So we would get them into like local stuff a lot. A lot of stuff that would play at the Patio or the Portage.
Cool.
A lot of underground stuff.
Wow, the Portage?
The Portage had screened some short films and some indie movies for a while. I'm hoping that kicks back up again. I heard they're falling under a new owner, which would be awesome.
It is such a iconic theater on the Northwest Side, and I hope it comes back too. But that's so badass that you showed films at the Portage Theater.
Yeah, it's cool. It's like old school cinema. It's funny that they mentioned the organ player. I feel so bad I'm forgetting the guy's name as well. But he was involved with another film that was in the midst of post-production right now, and it was filmed by the company's name is Chi-Town Sugar, and they did a feature-length movie, and it was shot at the Patio. And it's a black and white silent film, but it's also like a psychological horror slasher. And their approach was to film it like it was an old school, like, you know, silent film.
Oh my God, I love it.
And they shot over the course of last year, and I got to see all the fun updates. Unfortunately, wasn't able to work on it, but Natalie Carasquillo, our trusted special effects guru.
I love Natalie. Shout out, Natalie.
Shout out, Natalie. Natalie was on set, and she got to do a lot of the fun makeup stuff.
Neat.
The kind of silent film approach to makeup, which required, I think, a lot of greens. It's a lot of stuff that would have to register on black and white.
Beautiful.
And a lot of the
Incredible.
gore, a lot of the gore effects. But they shot in the Patio. It was like a big part of it. The movie is framed around an usher, and the film's called Evil Usher. And it looks very exciting. The page always has some really cool promos they do. I'm very excited for when that comes out. But yeah, it sounds like a lot of really talented people worked on that.
Keep me posted, please. Evil Usher,
yeah.
I'd love to see it.
Shout out, Evil Usher.
Shout out, Evil Usher. That sounds so cool. And I love the silent film aspect of it so much. And I love the Patio so much. And I was there for a film festival a couple summers ago. And God, maybe it was 3 summers ago now. Time goes so fast. But I was up in the projection room, and I just got the chills even talking about it, because like the projection room at the Patio is like frozen in time. The paint's like bubbling off the walls.
It's like you're stepping into history.
Woo!
It's just cool to like, one, to be there and watch movies on the screen, but also to get stuff you've worked on screen there is awesome. There's a local filmmaker named Ryan Jackson, and he's an awesome guy. He hosts a film festival for local filmmakers, and it's called Big Picture Chicago.
I've heard of that.
And they had done a lot of screenings at the Patio Theater, and we're waiting to hear of when maybe the next one comes about. But it's clearly Ryan is passionate about film and indie film. and it's very much like a passion project of his. He doesn't like charge entry fees like
Wow.
that. It's more so like, yeah, let's just see what everybody's doing, and it's like an environment where people can meet and chat. And it's funny because we screened Cottonmouth there, or for the first short, and that's where I met. Well, I'd met Jerry Gonzalez before that at a party. It was a party that was like, I think it was being hosted by Steve-O. Of course, we all grew up in the city, so everyone kind of knows each other already. And I just remember us, a little buzzed. We were just chatting about movies and that we were making movies. And then we didn't talk for a while. And I'm like, I recognize this guy when I was at the patio. And sure enough, it's the same guy. And he had screened, I believe it was Into the Woods. And it was like this fantasy genre.
Yeah, we
dark
watched
movie.
that. We actually watched that when he was on the podcast.
Oh, sick.
It was great.
It's crazy.
Yes.
The story of how it was made is crazy. So I remember I was like, how long did it take you? And it sounded it took him a long time to put it together because it was so involved. It
Yeah.
had all these, like, the puppets.
Yeah,
And
special
the
effects.
special effects.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's one thing where it's like you got a guy that does all that stuff himself, but also a guy that's like that, like chill and down to earth. So it's like, we get along pretty well, and we love having him on set. Mm-hmm. And then I love I'll fetch coffee for his movies. I've just been fortunate enough to be able to work on Spaghetti Man and A Hamster in My Head. Which are just like, those are movies I would go watch anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just that it's just also a guy that like is a local guy and we get along is awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, we kind of just send each other like schlocky movie clips constantly. But yeah, and now he's got like a feature he's working on, which is like
Yeah, Big Spooky House.
Big Spooky House. Get that movie made.
Check it out.
Support Big Spooky House.
Yes, support Big Spooky House and Jerry S. Gonzalez. We just had him on the pod. He was awesome. And I'm glad you brought Jerry up because I found out about Jerry through Kinocrew. You guys shared I think it was like when he got clearance from the production company to proceed with Big Spooky House.
Oh, Candy House Productions.
Yes, Candy House,
Yeah.
and he won that award. And we then shot Hamster in My Head, which we, of course, have to talk about. We did the pickup shots here at the studio. And that was the first time that you and I met in person.
Yeah, what a way to meet.
Yeah. But it was through you guys that I was introduced to Jerry S. Gonzalez, and so thank you for that.
Oh yeah, pleasure's all mine. We local guys. We love like we built up this company. We got the page. We want to share everybody's stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like, and plus we know how much of a pain in the ass it is to get something made in the first place. So if we could share anything, and get the word out there, the better. And it's like it just helps even more so that we love his shit.
Yeah.
So it's like, of course we want to get it out there. And then that was just awesome. That was like big picture. We just were meeting filmmakers there.
Yeah.
We also met, both of us met David the Rock Nelson there. David the Rock Nelson, I don't know if you're familiar.
I am, and I'm so glad you brought him up. I saw his film the first time and met him at the patio.
Oh, nice.
He is an icon.
He's an icon. He's a legend. He's inspirational because he's just like, that's him. He's like the authentic guy. He's out here like the Ed Wood of the 90s, David the Rock Nelson.
Oh my God.
Everything he makes is genuine, and he has this like deep passion for horror movies, classic horror movies.
Yes.
I love like if I'll toss him a random question, he'll give me like a paragraph response on just everything. I asked him about a Paul Naschy films, who's like a Spanish filmmaker who made a bunch of werewolf movies and acted as the werewolf in those movies. And I was like, what do you think about Paul Naschy? You think he's a good wolf man? He sends me like a book and then a bunch of Polaroid photos of like, I met Paul Naschy this date, and he's a character. Yeah,
I can literally, your impression is so good. I was just transported. I'm like seeing
the
him
Ed Wood of
talk
the
before
90s.
me.
Tears off his shirt and starts doing some shadow
Oh my
boxing.
gosh. I saw a bunch of his shorts at the patio, and I was blown away. And then he was in some sort of festival at Swanberg's, and he was a trip. There was like a Q&A after, and Joe was like trying to like
There is no Q&A
reel it
with
back
David the Rock,
in, and he was something else. He was something else. But he is an icon in Chicago, and I am so grateful that I met him at exactly the Patio Theater about 2-3 years ago, and his films are so entertaining.
Yes, they're like they're all shot on video, and he like edits them, I believe, on tape, the old school way, and they're all like purposefully schlocky and very much the Ed Wood approach, where everything's done like zero budget, and they don't take themselves very seriously.
No.
They have a very distinct style. And
Wow.
more love for The Rock, the better, in my opinion.
Oh my God.
I love that guy.
I'm so happy that you brought him up, because his name was escaping me, but I could picture him, and there's nobody like him.
No,
There's nobody making things the way he's making them that I've seen personally. I'm sure there are, but like in Chicago, indie film world, and that's when I was like really just getting more into local filmmakers. And what a person to meet, like
Well, you were
right out of the
saying
gate.
he did the Q&A, right?
Yeah.
Me and Nathan actually caught a Q&A at the Music Box that he did for, I believe it was like I believe it was like Werewolf versus, oh God, the name escapes me, but it was like he had gotten a guy that was in an Ed Wood movie to be in the movie to fight the werewolf. And there was no Q&A with The Rock. There's just there's only answers. He just dominates the space, and he just goes into these long, but just like you want to hear what he's got. I always want to hear what he's got
I
to
mean,
say.
I do too. He's so entertaining, and I'm obsessed with him. And I would love to, like right now, I'm like, I want to get my hands on some of his films. And I'm thinking, I wonder if he even has like an Instagram or anything. And that's what's cool about him, is like he will mail you a DVD if you send him a cashier's check to his house. You can get your DVD in the mail. Like he does it old school.
Yep, he should have an Instagram. I seen a clip from one of his movies floating around on Instagram. I'm like typing in the comments. I'm like, this is David the Rock Nelson.
Yeah.
It's like some page is sharing it. I'm like, he should have an Instagram, but he probably doesn't need one.
Yeah.
Maybe he's just like chill, being like the underground guy, you know?
And isn't that such a huge feat to be that person without being on social media, to do it the old school way?
Yep.
And he doesn't have to get an Instagram because he's David the Rock Nelson.
Yeah, he didn't need any of that. He just needs his monster movies and his and the Svengoolie marathons.
Svengoolie. What were some of your inspirations besides Stephen King? What did you watch, or how did you kind of create some of the stuff? Where did it come from?
I guess in terms of movies, it was like, I guess you start off with the usuals, where it's just like you start off with like a Tarantino. Like I was obsessed with Reservoir Dogs. I think I watched that. I think I wore that out, that VHS, because that was like I watched that all the time. I'm obsessed with stuff that takes place in one location, which helps when you're a broke filmmaker. Yeah. But also just like the theater aspect to it, and it's just an actor's showcase. I love that stuff. And I'd say definitely Tarantino. You know, I love my Scorsese stuff, but I think more so my guys are like I love like George Romero. I love Creepshow by George Romero, which is basically his take on like the EC comics, like the Tales from the Crypt comics.
Yeah.
And it's like an anthology kind of situation. I love that movie. So I love Romero. I love Italian horror, I think, because they're so atmospheric, and they're like art films, but they're filled with like this grotesque imagery. Like Dario Argento is a master. His stuff is like Hitchcock on acid. So it's like lots of mystery and like whodunits, the giallo genre of like, you know, there's a mass killer and all the murders are, an argument could be made they are glorified because they're just so artfully shot.
Yeah.
Where you're like, this is beautiful. There's something wrong with this guy. I love that stuff.
Interesting.
I love all of that kind of like Euro horror. I love Lucio Fulci. That's another Italian horror filmmaker.
Wow.
And his stuff's like they're like nightmares, living nightmares. There's no clear logic to the films themselves, and the gore is not even 100% realistic. It's just excessive, and the camera tends to just linger on it.
Yeah.
Where you're forced to sit in it. And I just love the music too. Like Fabio Frizzi's like scores are just so like poppy, despite the awful shit that's happening on screen.
Fabio Frizzi.
Or like Claudio Simonetti, the guy, he's done a lot of Argento stuff. The band Goblin, who did the score to Suspiria. Like the music's awesome, the cinematography's great. I love me some Italian giallo movies. God. As far as like American-based filmmakers, I love Joe Dante. I love the Gremlins movies. I'm a big fan of like weird little creatures running around movies, like Gremlins, Ghoulies, Critters, Puppet Master. That stuff is just like fun schlock that is just entertaining. It's not trying to be too deep, I love movies that aren't trying to be too deep, because then you can go in with subvertive expectations and then they kind of sneak up on you with themes. You know, that's also like kind of like the Roger Corman thing. Another guy I love, where it's like he's selling you the sizzle and you show up for the movie, you show up for the cheap thrills, and then he kind of sneaks a little nugget of something in there.
Wow.
Like some sort of theme or take on politics, or even something as simple as like it's a story about a boy and his son, but there's sharks everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, something goofy like that. I love genre movies. So in general, so it's hard to pinpoint like a favorite guy.
Wow, I'm just blown away. I can't wait to watch this back and like have a running list of all these film recs that you've given me, because a lot of these people I haven't heard of, but you also have such a diverse repertoire of the film you're watching and your inspirations. Like, that's super cool.
Thanks.
Very unique.
I'd like to think movie night's pretty fun.
Yeah.
I got through some more of them, but I do like, I could watch something like that's critically acclaimed, and then I could watch something shitty right afterwards for fun. Or, I could find like something artful and something bad. That's like when people are overly critical of like a movie.
Yeah.
Oh, it sucked. And I'm like, well, I mean, I watch a lot of bad movies. So it's like I could still manage to find something artful in like something like a bad movie.
Of course.
There's always something worth enjoying, some sort of part of it. Plus, the fact that anything gets made in general is a miracle.
Just the respect of making it and coming from the indie film world, just that the struggle is real. It don't come easy. So just to make it is notable.
Even if, especially when they're like back in the day, they're not shooting on like SD cards. They gotta like change the magazine and
right, actual film.
They don't know how it's gonna look, and then they probably get to the film lab and like, well, that whole day is shot.
Reshoot.
That whole like discipline is insane. So it's like that. Mad respect for all that. Maybe one day we'll shoot on film. It's so expensive. That's definitely something where you need a lot of money. I'd love to shoot on like video. Like me and Josh always kick that idea around. Like, let's shoot something on video. So
You're talking like Sony Handycam 8mm.
Yeah, like really raw looking video.
Yeah.
Like I love that look. There's some great filmmakers that have made their bones doing that. There's like guys like Todd Sheets or like Tim Ritter. Dudes that like they were able to film their own thing on their own time. They were like modern day people running around with Canon DSLRs shooting their own shit. These guys are like, we're using consumer grade home video cameras you'd use for your child's bar mitzvah, and they're shooting like Romero style zombie movies in their backyards. Like, that shit's very inspirational. And then the fact that they still had like decent lighting setups, like some of Tim Ritter's stuff is like super atmospheric, and like the shot composition's like inspired, and it's like he's still like composing these shots really well. He's shooting it with what he's got, and it lends like this aesthetic to it that's like super appealing. So I mean, and then we've got all this old camera equipment that's sitting around anyway. Like, me and Josh have like our old family's like VCRs, and it's like, well, let's just shoot something on that. So We'll eventually work our way up to it. We just got to get past literally all this other stuff we're doing.
Well, and that's good. It's good that you're busy and you have a lot going on, but I like where you're going with that. We've seen my old-fashioned camera.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, during Hamster in My Head.
I can't wait to see that. I love all that.
I know.
That's how behind the scenes stuff should get filmed.
Exactly.
Like, very raw.
And actually, if you ever want behind the scenes footage, LMK, and I'll show up with my video camera and I'll capture it.
Do some behind the scenes of the next thing.
I would love it.
That'd be awesome.
Hit me up. Talk to me a little bit about indie filmmaking in Chicago. What do you think the edge is that Chicago's got right now?
Hungry artists. Everyone wants to do something. For the most part, everyone's friendly. I can't compare it to like New York or anything. I haven't been. I didn't jump on the train to LA. A lot of people seem to have been going there, and I was just like, cost of living seems pretty expensive. It does seem a bit like a rat race, and I am not a fortune teller, but I had a little itty bitty feeling that maybe things would be a little bit more accessible if I just waited.
Yeah.
And it feels like that's the case. Maybe if I'm in a position where I'm going to have to continually seek financing for stuff, I'll go to LA because that's basically where all the money people are, I guess. But I like the super low budget, weirdo underground passion project shit anyway. So, and you're going to find nothing but passionate people in Chicago. So, I mean, might as well stick around here. All these actors, comedians, filmmakers, Chicago's just filled with them. Yeah. And everybody wants to do something. And even if they're not a professional actor, they'll jump on it. And non-professional actors and non-actors, that's my bread and butter. Never been in front of the camera? Don't worry, hold this. Put this mustache on.
I'm glad you brought that up because it sounds like you've pulled a lot of family members, friends to make your films. Is there any sort of vetting process, or do you welcome just that novice traits?
I would say there's a vetting process, sure. Because, I mean, like, well, especially now. I mean, again, that's a lot of trial and error. Like, you have people on set and you're like, oh, this guy's a problem. Yeah. This guy's got this issue, that issue. So we try, I mean, I think being with, doing the company thing with Josh and Nathan helps because then they're like, there's 3 heads that can help do the vetting process. But for the most part, I think ultimately, I think the goal with starting a company to begin with was we just wanted to cultivate an energy on set that felt kind of rare, where it's just like everybody got along, which it can't happen all the time. It's a film set. There's stuff going on. People get stressed out. But we just want everybody to at least get along or at least have a good time. Yeah. And as far as the Gobblehead movies are concerned, those usually feel like parties anyway.
I'm sure.
The amount of pre-planning that goes into something as silly as a Gobblehead movie is intense. Because, I mean, like, I'll plan shots, I'll do storyboards and stuff, but Nathan Olker is, like, probably one of the most talented, line producer types ever. Like, the pre-planning that goes into even so much as a short, fun sketch is very thought out and to an exhaustive degree, and it's good because it's like by the time we get to set, we already know most of the stuff we got to do anyway. So it's like shots, we know what we're gonna get. Everything's almost timed. Like very rarely have we gone over. So it's like that's usually pretty cool. And then like as far as like vetting cast and crew, we try to keep it as professional as possible. What are your eating habits? Are you allergic to cats? Are you adverse to violence? That's basically just it. I mean, we haven't gotten to the point where we're putting anyone through windows or setting them on fire. Yeah. We'll get to that at some point. But we're not there yet. But eventually, like as soon as we approach that, we'll approach it the same we've approached everything else, where we're just trying to do the best we can to do right by everybody else. Yeah. Like the Gobblehead budgets aren't like these massive things anyway, and we're not exactly like paying everybody a bunch of money. So the best we can do is cover travel costs, make sure everybody is fed, and provide an environment that's fun, creative, and at least work on something that feels like it's worth the time.
Absolutely. So is that right now, Kinocrew? What are you guys doing to strum up new business? Are people submitting scripts to you? What's going on right now with the production company?
We've gotten some script submissions lately. We've got like cast and crew submissions too, which is fun because it's like, oh wow, people are sending their resumes and their reels. Oh my god! But that's fun. And then it's like, as far as keeping the lights on, we do have a section of the company that's like client based. So we have done some like there's some like industrial films that help kind of keep some of the lights on. We've done some stuff for some people having to deal with like real estate or personal house projects. There's a lot of interesting side gigs that we do just to keep the lights on.
Cool.
A lot of the financing sometimes will come out of pocket too, because we just are all working day jobs still. So we're all still pretty passionate about it. But with every passing month, it seems like we're getting closer not having to worry about any of that, because just like more opportunities present themselves, more people want to collaborate on stuff. And the dream is eventually we'll have just a studio to work out of.
Yeah.
And I was talking to Nathan about that. I was like, man, wouldn't it be great to have a studio? And Nathan's like, that's been the plan since I was 12. And I was like, yeah, brother, that's indeed the plan. So one day we'll have like a nice little studio. We could shoot our schlock. We could shoot our art films, and then probably do some commercial work out of there. So that's at least the dream, and it becomes more accessible with every passing day.
I love that. That's so cool.
Yeah, and then you'll get to show up and see our elaborate green screen setup, whatever that might look
I
like.
can't wait.
Our holodeck.
Let's talk about the special effects that you've done. How did you get into the special effects aspect of film?
The special effects, so that's like really ultimately just came out of necessity, because it was just like, should we hire somebody? Yes. Can we? No. Do I love special effects? Yes. Am I Tom Savini or like, some sort of like Rob Bottin? I am not. But nowadays the information's pretty accessible, and I've got a bunch of old books. Like, speaking of Savini, I got his old book on makeup.
Cool.
I've got like a bunch of, tips and tricks from just people I know and being online, and a lot of behind the scenes watching. Even when I was a kid, like if it was a behind the scenes feature on anything, I was like watching it a billion times. So, I mean, when it came to special effects, the easiest place to start is usually the violent stuff, which is usually the fun stuff anyway. So like blood, gore, eyes, fingers, all the fun stuff. That's kind of where that comes from. And then it always helps to have an extra set of hands. So, I mean, like for instance, the Gobblehead movies, like at least on the last 3, it's been me, Natalie, and Jerry. Wow. Just like trying to make it work. This last one, I think we really busted out all the stops with one particular effect. And, I was running around doing a bunch of stuff, so I had an idea of what we needed to do. And luckily, Natalie and Jerry were there, so it's like they were able to like tackle it.
Yeah.
And it looks really gross. I don't want to spoil it, but it's really nasty. This last one is particularly nasty. Most of these movies are like short trailers, and this last one was like a narrative short. So it was much more of like we want to throw a curveball. Most of them are goofy. This one's like an actual like nasty horror movie.
Wow.
And it was like an actor's movie too, because this time, as opposed to it being kind of like shot like a trailer, Italian style, as we'll call it, which means like most of it would be dubbed.
Okay.
And doesn't even have to be like 100% well dubbed, because part of the aesthetic of those old Italian exploitation movies, they're kind of wonky with the sound effects and the dubbing. But with this one, we ran sound, and we had 2 very talented actors on set. All of the actors we work with are really cool, very talented, and very open to weird shit.
Yeah.
This particular time, we reached out to Kristen McCabe and Jack Dwyer, and we started doing rehearsals early on, and it's very much a boilerplate drama about a relationship. It's a relationship drama. There just happens to be some really awful, gory shit that ends up happening. And that was fun, because it was just like, they're both pros. So I just like, we had the script, and then the script like mutates and metastasizes into this big like thing. And again, like, I'm not a dictator. Like, I was just like, I have an idea of how this should be and how it should feel. but I just kind of like let him roll with it. I was like, it was funny because I mentioned it to him. I was like, I kind of hated the characters, and then after they were done, I resented them less. So it's like they actually made me like them.
Interesting.
And we like for the last chunk of the shoot, like there was no particular shot list, which again would drive like my buddies crazy. Like Josh and Nathan, they like having a set plan, but this particular time it was like, let's just see what they do, because the blocking was kind of figured, but then the actors started to develop their own rhythm. And I was like, let's just like roll with it and then frame it around it, which comes more from like my side of coming up with making movies, because a lot of the movies I made early on, we just were winging it.
Yeah.
And we're just like, well, fuck it, let's just see how this goes. And we came up with the shots on the spot. It looks great, so I was like very happy. So I mean, it's I don't know how we got to that point, but
Well, just going from special effects and leading into what you're talking about now. You're a fan of improvising then on set. Like we talked about earlier about mumblecore and mumblegore, which was a new term that I hadn't heard before, but
I can't steal that term either. Mumblegore is like, I think that's some journalist came up with. But mumblecore, that's like Swanberg and gang, those guys.
Improvising, right.
Lots of coming up with it on set, or naturalism, stuff like that.
So is that something that you work with? What, like when people are kind of improvising a scene, do you let them go off script?
Yeah, definitely. Like again, you'll find like nuggets of awesome stuff from that. Like stuff you would never plan for. Like I'm not like a Kubrick when it comes to it, where he's like, he's got everything figured out 100%. Say the line just like this. Like there's some lines like that, but actors are just like a wellspring of creativity anyway, especially comedians.
Yeah.
Like some of the best actors are improv artists anyway.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's why not utilize it? Why not allow them to play anyway?
Yeah.
So I mean, like the movie's 100% better because they were allowed to come up with a bunch of stuff.
It is. And I think it adds to the authenticity of a film. And that's something that the more I've gotten into the indie film world, like seeing movies, like what was that ape movie we talked about?
Oh, Psycho Ape.
Psycho Ape.
Oh, I love Psycho Ape.
I loved Psycho Ape. I loved all the improvised moments and just like even the stumbles, when people were speaking their lines, the mess ups were in the movie, and it just brought such a different human level to the movie.
It felt like real people.
It felt like this was real life, and it was an inspiration to me seeing that movie. And we've talked a lot about other concepts, other ideas for films, and the cool thing about all these different conversations, watching different films, it's all just like feeding my inspiration for my own films I want to make. But yeah, it's very cool. I love it.
Hell yeah, that's the best. Anything you watch that makes you want to make a thing is usually pretty good.
Yeah. Let's talk about Loads.
Loads is the current Kinocrew prestige picture. That movie is another one that spawned from like a random conversation me and Josh are having on the way back from like, I think, a company shoot. And it was the company he works for. He does his day job for Yellow Box. It's a video marketing startup. We were chatting. We I think it was like maybe for a 48-hour film fest short. But we were on our way back, and the movie Loads is a gross movie, purposely so. It's a movie about addiction. It's about masturbation, and it's about a guy who his job is he works for a sex toy company, and that's all he does all day. And he starts to feel these horrible pains, and he starts leaking out of different parts of his body.
Oh my gosh.
And his doctor tells him if he keeps going on like this that he's going to explode. Not in the good way, but like in like a actual like pop like a balloon. That's essentially that's the premise. There's a lot of other stuff that happens too. It's a romantic comedy, body horror type situation. And we just were just chatting about random goofy ideas, and that was one of the ones that I guess just like stuck in Josh's brain. And then like years later, we're doing a movie marathon, and he's like, I want to do a weird movie. And he starts pitching the movie. I'm like, that's that movie we were talking about. You want to make that a movie? And the script got written, we casted it, and of course we brought in some improv people that we've known, that we worked with like a couple times before. And it looks great. The movie looks great. The cinematography looks great for being such a bare bones movie. And the performances are done in a way where I was like, the dialogue is very John Waters meets like, it's like a John Waters movie meets like almost like an A24 art film, which is hilarious considering that the shit that's coming out of people's mouths is so funny. And it's screened very well, so it's like people, like we would do like test screenings, people would laugh a lot, and then of course now we're getting into a situation where a lot of people are laughing, and then some people are getting upset at the movie. So now it's like, and it's just not even a particular group, it's just like people have different reasons for being upset with it. Some people saying that it's like it's an indictment of the sex industry. One person said that it was a celebration of depravity, stuff like that. There's even going the other way with it, where they're saying that like we were like there's like anti-porn people, and there are people saying that we were promoting pornography, and it's just like, well, I guess something must be working because people are upset.
Right, they're talking.
And it got rejected by a few different festivals, and then some of the reasoning behind some of the rejections were interesting. And then some people would even go so far as to include some weird remarks in the emails. I'm like, oh, we're getting some people upset. And it's like, on paper, the movie is not even that offensive. Maybe I've just spent too much time with it.
Yeah.
But it's, luckily, somebody did decide to choose to put it on at a fest, and it's going to premiere, an actual premiere, at the Spooky Empire Horror Film Festival in Florida.
Wow.
So we're going to go down there a little bit later in October, Halloween weekend. We're going to be spending it in sunny Florida. We can't wait. The lineup of all the other films look really cool. And it's just funny that we got loads in there in all capital letters. And I can't wait to, thank you. I can't wait to see it like with a large group of people and just to see how everyone reacts.
Yeah.
So that'll be really fun. And it's just it's been a wild ride because it's kind of just, it was taking a while for us to put it together. I think we started shooting it in like 2023, maybe late 2023. Don't quote me on that. I'm not good with numbers. But it's finally, it's got a great score. It's like got a something that sounds like it's out of Birdman. I don't know if you've seen that with Michael Keaton.
Yes.
I'm like, Josh, we had a really talented composer named Josh Rosen, and he composed the score for the film. And I'm like, this is like a really good piece of music for this movie. And it was like, and it works really well. So it's like that mix of the subject matter. It'll be really interesting. I'm very fascinated to see how an audience responds to it.
Congratulations on that.
Thanks.
It's cool.
Nasty. My parents will never see it. They will not watch it.
Sorry, Mom and
Sorry,
Dad. Not this time.
They'll continue to be confused. Why don't you make nice movies? Well, maybe one day I'll get around to doing it. My dad's like, why can't you do some sort of like cerebral political thriller? And I'm like, maybe I'll do Michael Clayton next year.
Yeah.
We'll get to it.
Yes.
For now, it's jizz movie and murder movie. We'll work our way around to the other one.
I love it.
We're excited, and my buddy Josh, who is like he wrote and directed it, and then me and my brother Tim actually helped co-write it. Tim's in it, which I won't spoil Tim's role in the movie, but wow, that IMDb sure is gonna be packed. But that's gonna be really interesting. Josh, so that movie we're gonna take to premiere, and he just got married.
Congratulations!
So, congratulations! You did it.
Yeah, Josh.
Dreams are coming true out here.
To Josh. And
to Josh.
Dad. Cheers.
He's gonna take home some Oscars this year.
Nice.
Some Golden Globes, maybe some Razzies if we're lucky.
So how does it make you feel when people that you're the guy that people come to with these weird scripts?
Like I should probably look in a mirror, maybe. I guess. Why are they coming? Well, they all find me. It's pretty cool. The thing is like I wish that, not that I'm like fulfilling anyone's dreams, but like when I was making or trying to make stuff and nobody wanted to work on it, I was hungry for someone or some place that would want to do it. And I feel like we're making that happen. We had some crew members on that like were very young, and they reminded us of like when we were starting out in like film school.
Yeah.
And then we would flash back to all the terrible film sets we were on, and we were like, well, at least this one's like a really cool movie, right? And like, you guys are having fun, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, this is a blast. I'm like, oh, thank God we're not ruining movie making for you, because I mean, we all have like between the three of us like our own shit show stories.
Yeah.
But when you're younger and you want to make movies, you'll jump on anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess if we can create that atmosphere. That's important. The other, I guess, because you said people always come to you with film ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Every now and then, you get a really cool one. And then because you are a movie guy, and I think most movie guys will probably tell you the same thing, they'll hear movie pitches all the time, and you'll get the whole, hey, I got this idea for a movie. And they pitch you something that sounds like it's going to cost a lot of money,
Yeah.
or it sounds awful, or it's something that they knew you were working on already, and they're trying to pitch it like it's their idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's always something like that.
Interesting.
Or then you get like the family member that's like, "Don't forget me when you go to the Oscars. You'll need that +1." So yeah, there's a lot of interesting woes for film people. I'm sure that a lot of those stories are probably very similar.
Well, something that I really admire and like about you is you're very easy to talk to. You're very welcoming of ideas. You're such a nice person. I mean, I don't know you that well, but from what I've seen, you're just extremely nice and just like so easy to talk to, and
That's very thank you.
inspiring. Like, I'm very inspired. I love how you love your family. I'm a very big family gal, and it's cool how you talk about your artist family and how they've been so supportive in your career. It's really neat.
Thanks. I got very lucky.
Aw.
I love my siblings. I love my family, and I don't take that for granted at all. Even when they drive me crazy, which is very rare. And then luckily, I am the easy one to talk to.
I can tell. I'm sure. You are just a delight.
I get to hear all the tea.
You are delightful. I love, earlier we were talking about just ideas and stuff. I played you some music and have run through in detail some ideas that I've got for a screenplay for a short. And yeah, I feel like it's just so doable. Like I've since the start of it, like known it could be done, but like the more we talk and then I'm like building it out and knowing people like you who can do special effects to make some of these things happen. It's just very, very inspiring, and I'm so grateful to have finally met you. And I feel like now we're friends for life.
Oh yeah, definitely. And it's like also getting to see like the creative process. Like it's like you are. I can tell as you're pitching it. Oh, you're like living in it. Like you got like the shot compositions thought out, and like the music choices.
Yeah.
I love that shit. I love when people are like, I've compiled a Spotify shot list. I know which act this music's gonna play. This has to be a low angle shot. Yeah. It's gotta have this kind of vibe. It's like I love shit like that. That's the kind of stuff that I like. Especially that early process. And plus, like, it's a crime film. Fucking love crime movies. Are you kidding me? Crime dramas. And it's like a character study. Mm-hmm. Like that's the best.
You're so cool, and I am so excited to collaborate more on future things and everything. But Jerry S. Gonzalez, it was very cool because he said he his goal is to be like D-list celebrity.
Well, he didn't say that.
He literally did.
Oh.
And it was so funny because...
I'm going to be bothering him to get on those Marvel sets he'll no doubt get on.
Well, and the thing is, he can go so many places. You can go so many places, and you will. Who knows what the future holds? But I like that. I don't know if it's as like desirable, quite frankly, to be A-list anymore.
It looks scary. It looks scary as fuck. It's like, yeah, let me just get everybody watching me all the time.
Right.
Can't wait.
Can't make a wrong fucking move. I mean,
clearly there's been no evidence that that's bad.
Right. The D-list thing is just kind of cool to be like locally known and indie known. And there's something to be said about that. And I just thought it was very humble of Jerry to say that, especially because he's doing so many cool things.
Yeah, that's wild. That's also a thing I feel like I'd say, but I'm shocked he would say it.
Yeah.
Because I love Jerry. He's always shooting for the moon, that's great. I feel like I would feel pretty good in that same boat.
Yeah.
I like when I go to a con and it's like, I go to like a horror convention and you've got some of like the heavy hitters of genre movies kind of chilling there.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys, some guys, they look bitter while they're there. And some guys kind of just like embrace that modicum of fame that kind of not totally defines them, but kind of, it's spoken to multiple generations and they're kind of like comfortable there. And they're humble about it too. Like, for instance, there's an actor named Bill Moseley. Bill Moseley is just the nicest guy. He's played savage killers in movies, but I think he played Chop Top in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, and that was like his big kind of breakout cult character. And then he would go on to do like the Rob Zombie horror movies. And I went to go see a Q&A with him at the Music Box when they were screening House of a Thousand Corpses again. And he's just like a nice guy. Like he's like a nice dad.
Yeah.
And he's just like, he's not like totally over it.
Yeah.
He's not like, this is all people talk to me about. Because he's done a bunch of cool movies. But he's just like in a nice spot.
Leaning into it.
He's leaning into it. And it's not like he's overly exploiting it in like a gaudy way.
Yeah.
And he's also not like, upset that that's like people will recognize him just for that thing.
Yeah.
And he's not like someone who's like, they're going to have Bill Moseley on the Today Show. Which, hey, have Bill Moseley on the Today Show. I'm sure he'd be really nice to talk to.
Get him.
But like that is a cool level of fame because it's just like, yeah, people, they come to you for the work and you're not like on Instagram Live crashing out.
Right.
Although this could be, I don't know, Bill Moseley, you could end up crashing out in a couple months. I don't know what's going on. Hope not. But that is a good like place to aim for because I mean like if you can like make your movies in the background, they are relatively successful, so you can kind of self-sustain, which sounds crazy because I feel like as an artist I'm always gonna have to find some kind of additional hustle.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll sell action figures.
I love
Gobblehead
that.
action figures.
I love it.
I go buy it now. That would be really cool to just kind of eke out a little existence there.
Yeah.
Not everybody can be like a James Gunn or like even a Steven Spielberg. When I went to film school, everyone wanted to be Christopher Nolan. I didn't want to be Christopher Nolan. That looked inaccessible. I didn't want to even be Tarantino back then. I think every film school has the guy that's doing the crime movie about people talking about arbitrary pop culture stuff. Yeah. But like a chill level of success would be nice.
Yeah.
If I have to sign autographs with like a fucking Gobblehead on it for the rest of my life, that's fine. And then it's funny because I just don't see Jerry doing that. I feel like Jerry's gonna like pop off.
Yeah, me too.
Like
me
Spooky
too.
House. Come on, Spooky House.
Spooky House, Spaghetti
I'll
Man.
buy those toys. Just sell some toys.
Hamster in my head.
I was pestering him to like make some action figures. I'll buy that shit immediately.
Well,
we all have 3D printers. So.
Yeah, why not? We can make some cool shit with that. You mentioned something about having fun on set, and it reminds me of what we did here with Hamster in My Head, the pickup shots.
Yes.
And that, I think, I also was able to get a really good vibe from you and the rest of the cast and crew. It was such a fun, collaborative effort. And you, of course, were here with Natalie working on special effects. You did a little puppetry. You did a little lava. I did a little smoke. That was some impromptu.
Yeah.
I was like, let's blow some. Do you guys want some smoke on this?
There's a moment where like I'm blowing bubbles, and then you come out of the side with the cigarette to blow smoke, and then there's like a guy with a giant camera, and there's like a volcano. And I'm like, this is what it's about.
It was
right
so
here.
cool.
Everybody's cracking up because there's like a hamster puppet
Yes.
that has to leap from a chocolate volcano to like a robot body. I'm like, that's the shit that I dream about.
Wow.
That was like a great day on set.
It
And
was.
Everybody was just in a good mood. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. Jerry's movies are always fun to work on, and everybody just seems to be having a good time. The first movie I worked on of his was Spaghetti Man, and that was a lot of shooting, but that always seemed fun. Everybody's just having a blast.
So did you help with the Spaghetti Man costume? What was your...
Oh,
I know
no. That's all
and
Jerry.
not to give any spoilers away, but obviously there were some special effects and things that needed to be done. But just curious, what did you work on Spaghetti Man?
I was script supervisor, so there were days where I had to run as a script soup, so I was keeping track of continuity and stuff like that. That was another gig I did in college a lot, was script supervising. But then there would be days where you just shift hats. I think there was a day where I was running around as a PA and a script soup. There was a day where I had to fill in as an AD. But I mean, like, you know, it was whatever was necessary to make the movie. And there's a lot of really talented people that worked on that movie. The cinematography was excellent. Again, the sound, great. But yeah, man, I wish I got to work on that suit. I remember he sent me a photo of that. I'm like, that shit's fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
He's got meatball eyes. It's like, that's brilliant.
Love it.
And then we were in line. We had our movie screening at the same time at the Davis Theater. And it was for the Chicago Independent Film Festival. And I believe we were screening Gobblehead 2. And Jerry was screening Spaghetti Man. And we're just standing in line, like, what are you working on next? He's like, oh, I'm making a movie called Hamster in my head. And I'm like, you're not making that movie. You're just pulling it out of your ass. There's no way you're making that movie. And then there was a script, and it said Hamster in my head. I'm like, oh, great.
Wow.
And the script's great. Like, Jerry's a very talented writer, so it was like, you know, like, oh, I got to work on this. Of course. And it worked out pretty good. I was a gorilla suit wrangler. I'm not credited as that, but Jack Dwyer, who we would go on to work with on other stuff, he was like in a gorilla suit for one scene. So just to make sure he didn't like die in it, so like spraying him down.
Can you breathe in there? So, what advice would you give to aspiring filmmakers out there?
Ooh, a lot. But I probably would just tell them just to keep going. Keep going. Tell yourself to keep going, and don't think that you're gonna stop having to say that. I feel like you're just gonna have to keep telling yourself to keep moving, and also just shoot the movie. Just make the movie, and not every first movie you make has to be, Citizen Kane. And I think I'm pulling a page right out of David the Rock Nelson's book, because he's said as much, where it's like, just make the movie. You don't have to, everyone gets caught up in their thoughts trying to make that first movie. Just make the movie, and then make the next movie, and then just continually grow and get better from that. And it could be 5 minutes, 15, 20. And like even Jerry would say, you can tell an ABC 3-act fulfilling story, a fulfilling narrative in as short as 15 minutes. Mm-hmm. They do it all the time on TV. They do short movies. You cut those commercials out, those are short films. They manage to pack a lot in them. Yeah. So I mean, I would just make the movie and write whenever you can, to keep the juices flowing.
That's great advice. Like Dad said, keep writing.
Keep writing.
Write every day.
Flex the writing muscle all the time.
Yeah.
Do something. Approach everything in life with creativity, and you should be good.
That's beautiful, and I love it. For a guy who makes crazy horror films, that's so delicate and lovely. But it's, you got to start somewhere,
This is
Everybody's got to start somewhere. And even someone who's made one short film, your list is like, upwards of 100 different films, and mine's at one. But You got to start somewhere. For now.
Until I sucker you into being in a bunch of movies.
Exactly. I can't wait to be covered in blood. Gobblehead, 4, 5, here we come. What is coming up for you next? What's the future hold for Alex Perez?
Let's see. Next up. Well, besides the trip to Florida, we have a few projects that we're considering taking on. We do a holiday special every year. I think this year's going to be a little bit more elaborate. I don't want to promise anything too far in advance, but I do want to do something very sci-fi-ish.
Cool.
So maybe we'll be able to tackle that, or this will be very dated. I'm working on another thing too that I am mixed. I am my mom's white, my dad's Puerto Rican. And me and my brother are obsessed with old movies, but also we love like the Santo movies, like Luchador, B-movie, Legend. We wanted to kind of do a send-up of that. So right now we're writing a short movie, and we're planning on doing it all in Spanish with Spanish-speaking actors.
Cool.
And it'd be nice to think that I could maybe learn Spanish through this process. We'll see. We'll see. I'll see how if I can leave the Google Translate unopened and see if I can maybe just like get through this and learn some Spanish just through making movies. Because I get it all the time. Like, oh, you don't know any Spanish?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you, except whatever I'll tell you won't be in Spanish. But I mean, yeah, we'll try to combine those efforts, and then it's got some of my favorite stuff in one thing: horror movies, B movies, wrestling. And, my heritage. So I'm just going to combine those things and make something fun out of it. So that's the dream. That's the next goal. And then there's probably going to be another Gobblehead. Space, maybe. We'll play it by ear. Maybe we'll bust out the green screen.
I was just thinking green screen.
Yeah, keep
I'll
our
be
options
there.
open.
Keep me in mind.
Yes. We'll see if maybe it's 50s theme. We'll get like the kind of like the spandex outfit with the bowl fishing helmet.
Gosh, I'm loving that.
That would be awesome.
I'm loving it. Where can people find you and find your films if they'd like to watch?
The stuff that is easy to find is you can find all of our stuff at Kinocrew Productions. We have a YouTube channel. There's also you can find us on Instagram, on Facebook, at Kinocrew Productions. You can also find my personal Instagram is Alex Perez Makes Stuff, and that's also on Instagram. And yeah, or add me on Facebook. I'm pretty lenient. I can't get back to all the messages, but I'll poke you.
What do you want to leave us with as we're signing off today?
Let's see. Searching my brain for something profound. Let's see. I would say make friends while making movies and make movies with your friends. That's a good motto to live by.
Wow.
That's solid, I think.
That's so cool. And you're so solid. You're such a cool person
solid
to know.
Muscle, actually.
100%. And I love the Goosebumps shirt.
Oh,
That's
yeah, thanks.
so cool.
I'm permanently 12 years old.
That's cool because I have the refrigerator of a 12-year-old.
Hey,
It's like, does an
let's
adult
go.
woman live here or a young boy with no money?
There better be Go-Gurts.
There's not. That's how pathetic it is. But it's been a total pleasure having you here.
Oh, thank you. It's been fun.
This is just the beginning of a friendship, and I feel like we're going to make some things together.
I think so, too. I think we got a lot we're going to end up making. So it felt really good, and I had a blast.
I had a blast, and I'm sure we're going to talk after this, but this has been a
Yes.
slice, and wow. Check this guy out. We got Alex Perez, Kinocrew Productions, and indie filmmaker, producer, special effects. Thank you so much, Alex.
Of course, thank you.
Cheers to you, even though you're
Cheers.
almost out.
I'll get a new one.
But help yourself. But yes, this has been Alex Perez, episode 15 of Coming Up Comic and Film. Check him out and get ready for Gobblehead 4. It's coming out soon.
It's coming.
We're out. Coming Up Comic and Film.
Love you. Leave me a nice comment in the section. Actually, leave me a nasty comment in the comment section. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll write a movie about it, a short.
Yes. No premises, please. No pitching in the comment section.
Yes, no pitching in the comments.
I'll poke you.
Cheers, my friend, to Alex
Cheers.
Perez. Coming up comic.
Coming up
we out.
comic.
Just don't feel the same.
Let's give that old rascal Alex a call. Went to voicemail. Hi, Alex? Invest in Bitcoin.